And as far as, I would never claim to burn my mom's pictures.
All right.
That would be kind of sacrilegious to me because, I mean, that's my mom.
All right.
I just lost my mom. Honestly, I got this call, somebody volunteered to scan them for me. I was going through a lot of emotional stuff at that time. I had a lot of pressure on me. I mean, my mom was sick from the end of November till now, you know, when she died in the 11th. I was still in mourning. I mean, I just picked up her ashes, and this person said, okay, I'll scan them for you. And I honestly
These are the
figured-
pictures we're talking about here?
Yes.
So you got them somehow, right?
I got them, they
From
were
your-
put
from
in my
your-
van. They were put in my van from the 2 boards. There were only 2 boards.
But your brother
Okay.
gave them to you?
They were put in my van. I don't know who put them in my van.
They just appeared.
Well, actually, I don't know who put them in, but a lot of people had said they wanted the pictures, so we were gonna scan them. And they
Okay.
wanted them in my,
So you at one point you had the pictures.
I
with
had
you.
the pictures, and what happened is the person that scanned them never returned them, only gave me 2 CDs, and I haven't been able to get in contact with them again.
Who scanned them? What-
It was a friend of my son who's in the Army, who I've talked to several times trying to get a hold of this guy again.
Why,
because-
I don't understand. Why are you scanning them? I mean, I've
To
seen
do a
this-
CD for the people that were at the funeral that wanted pictures of my mom.
Okay.
Some of the pictures in question actually were part of my grandmother's property that McIntosh was at one time a conservator, and then the family had to overturn that through the court, and she was supposed to return these pictures to my uncle, which never happened.
But were these pictures on display at the memorial?
Yes, they were.
Okay, so then you turned them in to get them scanned before the memorial?
No, after.
After?
But everyone was supposed to have copied the pictures. I was told everyone copied their pictures.
Where are the pictures now?
I gave them, the only thing I have is the CD, and
Where
they're saying
where
some
are
of the
the
pictures are missing.
originals?
I don't know.
What do you mean you
I
don't
can't
know?
find the guy that scanned them.
So he has them?
Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Tom Johnson.
All right, and how do you know Tom Johnson?
I know him from my son that was in the Army.
Is he a friend of your son's?
Yeah.
What's his address?
Never had his address. He was just
Well, can you
somebody who came
find
over.
out?
I have tried. I
What do you
really
mean you
have.
tried? How?
I've tried to. I called the number that I had for him. They said it was disconnected.
Well, doesn't your
And
son
I've
know
talked-
where doesn't-
I've talked to him. He's in the Army in Texas. I've
And?
talked to him several times. He says he has not had any contact with them. I mean, I'm not trying to keep anything from him. I gave him the only thing I have is the, disc. I gave that through mediation. I told him I don't have the pictures.
All right, what is your response? What are we supposed to do here?
I have a response.
All right,
Number one, that is not her son in Texas. Her son is here. He works here in Michigan.
okay.
I'm not aware of her having any
But
other
she says the
son.
pictures are with this person who scanned
Okay,
it.
and mediation, when we went the first time, she gave me a disc containing 39 pictures. She said that she had them copied by someone, and she offered me the disc, and we scheduled another mediation while we viewed them to see if our pictures were on them. She said the originals were lost.
Okay,
So Linda and I looked at them, and all of the 29 pictures that we contributed were not on the disc. We went back to mediation, and we told her that. She said at the time that the person who scanned them, his name was Terry Jones, not Tom
I don't know what she just said.
Tom
something,
Johnson.
but
Tom Johnson.
It was Terry Jones.
who's Terry Jones?
And he
Wait
lived
a
in
second, who's-
Clinton Township.
You never said Terry Jones to them?
Yes, she did. I
Yes,
wrote it
she
down.
did.
Wait a minute, one at a time. You never said Terry Jones to them? Go ahead.
Okay. Then we had a peace officer go to her house on February 2nd. She told him, she didn't say she didn't have the pictures, just for us to take a breath, to ask her for the pictures on our behalf. So the same morning, she went and had these pictures put on a disc. The dates were there. Part of them, 18 of them, were put on February 2nd, and a few days later, on the 6th of February, I believe it was, there were more pictures put on the same disc. Now, That was the morning that we took the peace officer there, that she said she didn't have them. And they were not on the disc, but the disc itself tells you the dates they were put on there.
What makes you believe Ms. Stidham has these pictures now?
What makes, because she said she will not give them back to us, period,
Until she has to.
until she has to. So we've been trying to make her have to by coming here, but she will not return them. We have tried repeatedly. We have begged her. We've done everything in our power to get those pictures back, but she will not give them back.
Could I respond here?
Go
please?
ahead.
A couple of things. I was making notes while she was talking. She said that my nephew called around to see if we wanted to contribute pictures. That was not correct. He called around 11th hour and told us not only were we to cook the food for this memorial, but we had to make a picture board, okay? This was all last minute. Nobody ever mentioned scanning to us. The pictures in question that she's talking about were never part of my mother's estate. My mother did leave some very old pictures. Those were given to me personally, and I have paperwork to that effect that was left to me by my mother. Those pictures, I did get scanned, and I took what she's talking about, the second and the third board, I had cut it out, and I had placed those pictures for her and her brother. Those pictures were never in question here. The pictures in question are my own personal pictures that were taken of me and my brothers and sisters while we were all, before the other two were deceased. And she knows it, that's been explained to her. The original old pictures of my mother's that she has was a gift to her and her brother to keep of her mother. She knows the pictures in question are mine, they are my personal property.
All right. Well, instead of, I think what disturbs me a little bit here is if I'm to believe you, you gave these pictures to some friend of your son's, whom you don't even know, right?
He's been to the house like 10 or 12 times. I was under a lot of stress. And
What?
She told me that she gave them to a man and he died.
I did not say he died.
She tells a different
I
story.
have not said he died.
Well, the defendant had the pictures, but she gave them to Tom or Jones or Harry. She also admits that she was the last person to have them. Sounds to me like she's responsible. Let's see what the judge says.
Well, ma'am, you gave them these pictures to be scanned in to somebody who I guess was at your house, now you're saying 10 times.
Yeah.
And you don't know where this person is now.
No, I've tried to find him
This
because I'm
person
out the
dropped
pictures.
off the face of the earth.
I'm out the pictures of my mom and everyone too. I mean, this is not a good situation, but that's why they were not even supposed to do the board. My brother never called him about that. My daughter was supposed to do it, who didn't even get to be a part of it. It was her ideal, something she wanted to do for her grandmother.
But those pictures belong to these 3 women, correct?
I don't have them.
No, I didn't ask you that.
Yeah.
Do these pictures
Yes,
belong to
I
these
gave them
women?
whatever I gave them whatever I had.
And you had these pictures at one point?
I did have the pictures at one time. My brother had the pictures at one time. She had the pictures at one time. I was told everything was scanned. It was not a problem.
Well, all right, first of all, this is not a case of conversion, okay? So you're not entitled to triple damages or anything like that. That's not what this is. This is
Okay.
something else. What we have here is a situation where some pictures or some property, essentially, that belonged, I guess, to the 3 of you in different ways, was turned over to the defendant here, Ms. Stidham. And at some point, you had these pictures. You acknowledge that. And you acknowledge that they belong to these people.
I have never denied that.
Okay. So when you come into possession of property that belongs to somebody else, and that property is given to you to use for a particular thing, okay, there's nothing wrong with that, but you also have an obligation to use reasonable care when those pictures are given to you so that they're used for the purpose that they were given to you for. You have to, in other words, be careful with them, especially when we're talking with pictures, because pictures are irreplaceable. It's not like dishes where you can go out and buy another dish and replace it. You can't do it with pictures. So you've got to be careful.